Hello, and thanks for joining me on this week's episode of Simply Saturday, where I get to show you a card that is fast and easy to make. My name is Julie, and this is Stamp with Julie Baum. This is the card that I'm going to be featuring on today's episode, and I'm very excited to show you this fine shimmer paper that's right here. It might be something that is new to you. So stick with me and we will create this card. I'm going to be using the stamp set called Best Butterflies. Now, all I'm using out of the stamp set today are the words. We're going to be using the stamp All the Love. But I did want to point out that this stamp set with its coordinating dies is on the last chance list. So if this is a set that you had been thinking about, maybe considering over the last calendar year or catalog year, but did not get, I want to make sure that you look into that. These are available while supplies last. And so at the time of this recording, they are available, but that could change at any time. So Best Butterflies, make sure you check that out. Now, let me tell you the pieces that we're going to be using, and I will give you some extra instruction along the way. All right, we're starting with a piece of Parakeet Party cardstock. This measures 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I have scored it at 2 inches and 7 1/2 inches. So let me show you what this looks like when we fold it. And I will reinforce my folds with the bone folder. All right, so these two folds cause the front of the card to have an upper fold and a lower fold, and they meet right together very nicely right there. You may have seen a similar card to this. I did a card recently that had the same measurements and the same fold. It was actually an Easter card, and it was done with a pocket option. Let me see if I can bring that in. Okay, so this was the card that has the little pop up, and you could tuck a note or a gift card into here. And then let me see if I have one that was not the pocket. I made several of those, so let me try to find that one. All of these have the pocket that are within my reach. Well, what I'll do is I will link the video to this project in case you just want to see that other project made with the similar fold. Okay, I'm trying to take one more look while oh, this might be it. Okay, hold on. Well, this is the other outside, but it also has the pull up pocket. Okay. So I'm going to link the video here in the upper right corner if you want to go back and see that. But I just thought that that might have sparked your thinking like, hey, I feel like I've heard these measurements and seen that fold before. You definitely have. All right, so that is our card base. Then I have a piece of 4 inch by 5 1/4 white cardstock. This is going to be the piece that goes on the inside. Then I have some designer series paper. Now, these pieces are all from Butterfly Kisses, which is a set of 6 by 6 papers. Now, these are also on the last chance list. And by the time you are watching this video, which will be a little while into April, this will have gone on sale at 20% discount. So the package of Butterfly Kisses 6 by 6 paper will be marked down to $9.60. Again, only available while supplies last. So I wanted to point that out. I am using a couple of pieces from that packet. This one measures 3 3/4 inches by 3 inches. And this piece measures 3 3/4 inches by 1 1/2. That's for the front of our card. And then I do have a narrow strip. This is going to go vertically. This is 1/2 inch. Right now it's by 6 inches. We're going to cut that down once we add it to our piece of paper. So there's our designer series paper. Now for the absolute best part of this card is this fine shimmer paper. Now This might have snuck by you. This has been offered in the January to April mini catalog. And it's actually in a 12 by 12 pack that comes in 3 colors. So this is the fresh Freesia, which I'll be using on my card today. There is a gold, and I'm going to show you a sample made with the gold, and there's also soft succulent. This shimmer paper is spectacular. I wish that I had every color in this fine shimmer paper. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's kind of a weight between cardstock and designer series paper. So it is heavier than your DSP, but it's a very light weight of a cardstock, if at all. It's just called paper, fine shimmer 12 by 12 paper pack. And so you'll be able to use it with ease. You can cut it with dies or punches. In fact, let me tell you the 2 sizes that we're going to be using. This piece is 4 inches by 3 1/4. And then this piece is 2 inches by 4 inches. So 3 1/4 by 4, 2 by 4. Then I had a scrap, and I used my stitched shapes framelets, which have long since retired, but are a staple in my crafting and hopefully in yours. Otherwise, you can, I'm sure, locate something in your collection that would work. So I used the largest oval and cut out the fresh Freesia fine shimmer paper with that die, and then just a white piece of cardstock with the smaller oval. All right, so back to that fine shimmer paper. I've told you where it is currently. It also is marked down once it hits that last chance list on April 4th, and this is going to be 20% off. So that whole pack of 12 by 12 shimmer paper in the 3 colors will be $8. You need to grab some before that is gone. Now, at the end of the card, when we're doing our embellishments, I'll mention one other thing that is actually going to be on a 50% off discount. So stay tuned. All right, for the first thing, let's attach our papers. So to this large area here, we've got the larger fold at the top and the smaller area at the bottom. We're going to attach our fine shimmer paper. Okay, so let's do that. I'm just using my multi-purpose liquid glue. And as I lay it down on here, I'm just going to look around at the borders on both sides and the top and the bottom and get this as straight as I can. All right, so that one is in place. It's very smooth, so I know that it looks like glitter. It indeed shimmers like glitter, but it doesn't feel chunky at all. It is completely smooth. Oh, it's delicious. Okay, now we're going to put this piece down here. I love products that are glimmery or glittery, but that aren't messy. And this definitely is one of those. Okay, I just flipped the card over so that I could have easier access to this little panel where I am putting the fine shimmer paper, but that is the bottom part right there, okay? Then we can add our designer series paper. So I've got this pattern from Butterfly Kisses. And it's going to get centered onto that panel. I love that little glimmery edge peeking out. And then this coordinating piece, also from Butterfly Kisses, is getting centered down here on this panel. Now on the inside of this card, we're not doing any kind of pocket or pop-up or anything like in the other video that I've linked. In that case, this little piece gets adhesive and gets glued down to become a pocket. But we're not making a pocket today. This is just a card with 2 flaps, okay? All right, let's go ahead, since we're using glue, and attach this. This vertical piece is going to go on my inside panel. It's extra long, which actually, if I could have it my way all the time, I would do it this way. Use a piece that's a little bit too long and then do the trimming afterwards, instead of having it exactly the right measurement, because I feel like sometimes exact isn't so exact and you end up still having to trim it anyway. So I've got it a little bit too long. This is a 6-inch piece by 1/2 inch. I'm able to use that extra length to my advantage as I attach this to the edge of the white cardstock. I'm going to flip it over and make sure it's right on my edges. There we go. You can see the extra is sticking out. Press that into place. And now with a quick trim, my paper truly is exactly top to bottom. With no little bits sticking out. All right, there's the inside panel. We can actually go ahead and put that in place as well. All right, so I'm just going to center that as well. I've got a little bit of green running all the way around my white panel. And that looks good. All right, let's go to the front of the card and do our focal image. Okay, can you see that shimmer? Oh, it's so pretty. All right, so I've got the oval also cut out of the fresh Freesia shimmer paper and my white piece, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat here. I'm using Starry Sky, which is the dark bluish purple color that is in the designer series paper. And I'm going to stamp the words not quite in the center, but a little bit over to the right. I still want it to obviously fit in the oval, but I do want it over to the right a little bit because we're going to put a little bow on the left side. All right, there's our words placed on the oval. Now I have a piece here of Parakeet Party twine. This has been in a 5-pack of the 5 in colors of twine. And I'm just going to make a very simple little bow. So I've got a loop, wrap it around, pull it through. Now I've got my loops and my tails. And I can just fiddle with these to get them the size I want. So I want small loops, tighten it up, and I'm going to end up with really short tails too, but I think I'll cut the tails once it's on the card. All right, so there's our little bow. Okay, we can attach this piece, one oval to the other. Kind of watch that your oval lines up as straight as you can. It's a little funky with the words not being centered. I needed to slide it over to the right a little bit more than I had it. There we go. Okay, but you just want your shapes lined up. Okay, now this piece is going to go on the front of the card, but I only want to attach it to this top flap, not to the bottom. So watch what I'm going to do. This is the top of the oval. I'm going to flip it over. So now the top just became the bottom. And I'm going to put some tear and tape only on this now bottom edge. So I want to stay away from the middle. I want to be only on this side of the middle. All right, so I've got that in place. I'm going to grab my metal ruler and help tear it. And I'll go ahead and put a second one here also. Okay, now when this gets turned the right way up, the adhesive is only at the top of the oval. Okay, that way we won't accidentally seal our flaps shut. That one was a little stubborn. Okay, so in placing this, it's going to only attach to this top part of the card. Let me open it and show you. There's no adhesive down here, so that way it can open and shut. And then let's attach our bow. Grab a glue dot. Now, one way, and this is usually the way I would do it, is stick it right onto the glue dot. A twine bow is pretty small, so an option to doing it that way is you can also pick up your glue dot with your take your pick tool. So I'm going to do that and kind of crunch it up into a tiny little ball as I do that. And I'm going to get it into place here using the tip of my tool to just kind of smush it together into a tiny little dot. And that way my small bow with a small center can just squish right into that little glue dot, like so. All right, I love the look of that. And then we're going to take our scissors, and I'm going to trim my tails quite short, just barely longer than the loops. So there's that side. And that side. All right, I just didn't want it too much into the words. I don't think that that is a problem right there at all. You could even maybe put a little rhinestone or something right here. We'll see how much time we have at the end. All right, so here is our card with that gorgeous shimmer paper. I am so in love with it, and I'm glad that I actually have quite a bit of it. I'm going to be using it up. Let me show you a very similar card to this one, but done with the gold. All right, this paper is from the same pack, just different selections. And then I have the gold shimmer paper behind those DSP panels. On this one, no twine bow, but I did add a few of these matte dots. Now, these are the matte decorative dots. These are in the 2022 to 2024 in colors. And these are those perfect little babies that I said are going onto a 50% discount sale April 4th. So by the time you are watching this, they will have been on sale. You need to check through my online store to see if they're still available. These are only $4. They were originally $8. So up here is the sweet sorbet color. That color is up here. So all the colors of those in colors are in here. All right, so that's a great buy. I hope that you're able to add that to your cart and that they have not sold out yet. So there you have it. Here is our parakeet party with the fresh Freesia shimmer. And here is a Calypso coral base with the gold shimmer. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave me a thumbs up. I love to read your comments as well. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you'd take just a moment and subscribe to my channel. I do enjoy sharing lots of projects with you. At the end of watching this video, if you'd like to find the dimensions to the project and also some other helpful things, just open that description box below the video. I've included lots of helpful things there for you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy stamping.